like, I don't want to do Hey YouTube.
Stoic Bros. With stashes.
With stashes. I'm going to say hello to the internet. This is, we're using first names?
Bill.
And Josh.
Yes. First names only.
Yes.
Don't look for us.
This one, do not Google me. Do not dox me, please. This is going to be our first inaugural video for our YouTube channel. Where our plan is to kind of explain why we did it, why we picked the logo, why we picked the name, and what Stoicism is and how it kind of applies to you. We broke this down into a couple of talking points, and then some of these videos it's going to be a hodgepodge. We're very new to this, the very first video.
We're new, but we're good.
Yes, but we're good. We're going to start off with, why we picked Stoicism, why we think it's important, and why we thought the YouTube channel was important to have. And then, of course, Instagram and a bunch of different places you can find us. And I'll kind of let you get with how, because you were kind of the brainchild of YouTube.
Right.
Stoic Bros. Like, this sounds
Stoic Bros.
But, like, if you kind of explain to him, like, why we picked Stoicism and how we got to Stoicism.
So, I think it's important for you guys to know that this is something that's important to us as kind of like a day-to-day how to live your life philosophy, because that's what it is. I also think it's important that we kind of talk about how we found it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because I think it's pretty interesting that when we started this whole thing, we had no real direction, and then a late night phone conversation about a name, right?
Yeah, we were trying to find
It was really
a name,
about finding a name, and then working off of that. And then we just came across philosophies, and then within digging in different philosophies, we came across Stoicism. And then I think you could kind of tell, even on the phone, because we weren't together, we were just talking, you could tell there was like that little moment of silence, and it was like, oh man, that's perfect.
That's perfect. That is us. That is everything we stand for as individuals. Yeah.
Right. And then I think when you dig into that, because like, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Stoics or Stoicisms or someone calling someone a Stoic, maybe even in a derogatory way. Like, that person has no emotion. I don't think it's about no emotion. It's just that that person's in better control of their emotions. What did you think when we first talked about it?
So I know, I guess, from the get-go, we had talked about trying to develop a brand and try to develop an idea because, we have a pretty vast thing of interest where, we like trucks, we like training, you like fitness, we like going outdoors and all this stuff. So we had a lot of stuff that interests us, and it's like, well, I don't want to just, hey, watch me
pick one thing.
Yeah, hey,
we didn't want to pick one thing and get pigeonholed.
And that a lot of this stuff, people might call them like time thieves. It's like I can go play 2 hours of video games, or I can go work out for 2 hours or whatever. Or again, you can find a way to have moderation and all of those things. And that's easy to say, and you have kind of the self-help way of doing it, or as I like to call it, like the barking football coach way of doing it of, well, you're going to do it because whatever, and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And that does work. That's the way we were both raised on that. And
middle school and high school.
That's what I mean. And you go through, the people that we grew up with, that's just how you did stuff. That's you just kind of...
Because that's how it was done.
Mm-hmm. And that when we were talking about that and some of the benefits that we got out of it, we got because we were unintentionally applying Stoic principles. And from Stoicism itself, it's not, again, I want to separate the word Stoic from Stoicism. To be Stoic is this kind of label that people have put on, again, a lack of feelings or a lack of what they believe is empathy, when really all it is applying virtuous principles to any subject matter. It can be your diet, it can be whatever, and again,
and also it's having a lesser reaction to a lot of things,
Mhm.
and avoiding an emotional reaction to pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Which, in today's world, let's be honest, that's looked at kind of weirdly.
Mhm.
Like, if you don't have an emotional reaction to something, you're kind of looked at as an outsider.
So I think to kind of push against and in social media right now is something that we'll see is there's literally a whole segment of society that's reaction videos,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a whole the thumbnail will be so and so reacts or so and so does whatever, and it's not saying that you can't have that reaction, but outrage or fails and stuff like that, which I consume. I would be remiss if I didn't act there and sit there and say I don't click on
Well,
those same videos.
sometimes
Yeah.
they're good entertainment.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
but that today, I think in this instant gratification kind of world, you get lost in clicking and getting angry and getting frustrated or feeling, pity on yourself for not having, the guy, I don't remember the guy's name that always has like a Maserati in the background. Is you want to know how to make $15,000 in your first 2 days of
The
doing
self-help
whatever.
gurus.
Yeah.
Which in my world has always been like the fastest way to burn belly fat in 30
Sure.
days. And we've all bought into that at some point or another with something,
And so when we got to Stoic Bros, we started looking to the big principles of Stoicism, and it's to be just and to be courageous and all these things. But a big part of that, and I think the big takeaway for both of us, was objectivity. And they talk about there's temperance. There's a bunch of different ways to articulate it, but it's regardless of what's being thrown in your life that you're approaching it with an objective mind.
Right.
And you don't allow your emotions to enslave your mind and your experience, because your perception of those things is your reality. And so Stoic Bros in general, and I guess the reason why we came up with the brand and why we kind of fell in love with the idea, was we're going to go back to empowering people to having joy in whatever it is they're experiencing, instead of suffering because I don't have the nicest version of this, or I don't have enough time for this right now. Instead of sitting there complaining that you only have 2 hours a week to go work out, or 30 minutes a day to go play a fun game on your phone or something like that, you take joy in the time that you get, and you feel
and you appreciate it.
I was going to say grateful for it, as opposed for it being a stressor. And again, we'll eventually go down the road about body dysmorphia and all this kind of stuff, and how you really suffer more for the things that you should be getting joy out of.
Right.
And
also, we have to bring it up that that's all self-awareness. You choose how you are reacting or feeling about certain things, whether it be yourself, whether it be something that you read, whether it be the way that someone acts towards you or speaks towards you or treats you. I think that's the biggest thing that I think stuck out for both of us was the reactionary portion. That you control the reactions that you give to everything.
And I think we're trying to develop a community and a mindset, and really it's a group identity is what we're going for, where we are going to take back control of our emotions and of our minds and of our day-to-day experiences and the things that we really want to enjoy. And whether it's approaching life goals, whether it's education, entrepreneurial endeavors, personal endeavors, learning a new language, so whatever it is, we want to bring the locus of control back. And instead of necessarily, and this might sound hypocritical because we're doing this on social media, it's just the most effective way to reach people.
It's the only way to get out there.
Instead of chasing, affirmation from outside, this is designed to teach you how to do it internally. This is designed to teach you to, regardless of your circumstances, and we'll get into the history in other videos, and we'll get into, how it applies everywhere else, but it's bringing that joy back. It's bringing that experience back to you and taking back control of your life in a way that's again applicable from everything from enjoying a candy bar to picking a spouse. I mean, like it really is. It's pretty incredible.
I'd love a candy bar right now.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yes, you on your keto diet right now. But anyways, that's kind of the why we decided to pick Stoic Bros, and kind of why we felt that this is important to bring to social media and to bring to this brand out there to other people. And we hope that you guys can take that journey into us exploring Stoic Bros.
And let's be honest, it's just a cool name.
It is a cool name. It does make me feel
Stoic Bros.
So we'll have more videos to come. We're going to have a bunch of other stuff to do. We'll figure out what our end tagline is for like, subscribe, whatever, share.
Do all three of those things.
Please do those things. And I guess goodbye, Internet.
Goodbye, Internet.
Until next time that we make a video.